Is this on? Looks like we already had ground fog and Gonna Rye stop by earlier today. We got one person in here. Who'd that be? Who's our one guest so far? Come on, type something. Let me know who you are. Gonna be a solo show tonight, guys. Cause what's up, Josh? Grateful Panic and Dopey, and that's right, Dirty Durst. You know that's my hero, dude. I'm a little embarrassed. I'll get to that in a second. But let me finish up. Grateful Panic's not going to be on tonight. Him and Vince and Dopey went to the Fall Fest or whatever they call it at Smoky Mountain Knife Show. So they've been on the road all day. They're tired. So yeah, John won't be joining me. You're damn right I did, dang Ross. I have never in my life owned or wore a flat bill hat. This is my first one, and the only reason why I have it, I know what everybody's thinking. I'm way too old to be wearing a flat bill hat, but I decided to go as my hero last night for Halloween, Mr. Fred Durst, and I lost my New York Yankees hat a long time ago, so I went to buy a new one, and all I could buy was a flat bill. And in flat bill hat style, of course, I left the 950 sticker on it, because that's what the kids do. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Oh, flat. I thought you said fat bill hat. Fuck you, Kyle. I'm down to one moderator, guys. I guess I ran the other one off, pissed him off. He don't talk to me no more. So Kyle is it. We're stuck with Kyle for now. Hot dog flavor, ching ching. I almost want to hear you. If you could just send me a voice message of you saying, "Hey, ching ching," so that I can play it multiple times during the day, that would be awesome. What's up, Ed Harrison? How you doing, buddy? Mind of Milton, pretty fly. P&W Fun Stuff. That's my boy. Glad you're in the house. So yeah, that's why I have a flat bill Yankees hat, because I can't find a regular grown man Yankee hat anymore. I did forget my gold chain, but I think I pulled it off pretty well. In all actuality, in case you guys haven't seen him lately, I currently look younger than Fred Durst. So there's that. Man, that dude aged so fast. I guess that's just a product of living fast, living hard, because he's had quite the life. If you haven't watched any of his interviews in the past few years, man, they're incredible. How he goes back and talks about, how he was probably the most hated man in music, and it was all his plan, and that he was playing a character. And I think people are just now starting to realize the genius that was Fred Durst. I don't think he got enough credit for what he did. Now, his vocals, that could be argued, but his business plan and how he turned himself into somebody was pretty damn impressive. Brasher Bears here. Let's see who else has showed up. We got 17 so far. I did start a little early, though, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot of people to be in here. Might even do a little knife talk tonight. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That'll do it to you every time, man. That'll age you fast. Luckily, I didn't partake in a whole lot of drugs in my lifetime. For all you guys that know, I'm still drug-free. I have not consumed any THC since Blade Show. Stevie had an intervention. He got me so high that I never want to be high again. So there's that. Yeah, I meant to be a douchebag on purpose. Fred Durst, you're right. He pulled. Hey, dude made millions of dollars. Got to hang out in the Playboy Mansion. Busted out Britney Spears over a 72-hour period in the studio. What more could you accomplish in your career than what Fred Durst did? Sold millions and millions of albums and made the entire world hate him. Oh, and he ruined Woodstock. Let's not forget that. They blame him for Woodstock 99 turning violent. They didn't want to accept any of the blame for packing all those kids onto an asphalt runway in 100-degree weather and charge them $8 for a bottle of water 24 years ago. So, yeah, all his fault, though. Shane's head barely fit in the backyard at Blade Show. Not because of ego. Yeah. You're right there. Cheeto Geese. Did you dress up as Cheeto Geese this year, Cheeto? I'd like to see that. I don't know how you keep up with so many accounts, man. I can barely keep up with one. Hardly ever know. Fred Durst with DK mode on? What's DK mode? You have to educate me on that one, Dang Ross. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway. So for those of you who weren't in here when I first started, Panic won't be with us tonight. They went to Smoky Mountain Knife Works today for Fall Fest. And he had some internet issues when he got home, and he's tired and frustrated, so he's taking the night off. So there's that. And I guess the batteries are dead in my mouse. It's not working. Luckily, I have a touch screen, so I figured that out. My tech support skills are growing by the day. And now we're losing people. I guess I told them Panic wasn't going to be here, and some of them left. That's all right, though. I ain't going to stay on real long tonight, guys. Can y'all hear me okay? I feel like I'm not talking very loud, but anyway, had a good time this weekend. Had a good time last weekend. Didn't make it home in time to do the lives up in Chattanooga, probably catching some incurable disease from a big bright red heart-shaped hot tub. Yeah, if you guys didn't see my short on that, I didn't find those. I didn't find those eyelash extensions until we were about to check out. So, yeah, I wish I'd saw that sooner. I love me some eyelash extensions. Yeah, well, Kyle, you understand my accent just fine, buddy. Shane would be screwed on a 1v1 hit. Oh, yeah. You're right there, Dang Ross. Yeah, 1v1 me on Rush, bro. Stevie should have run the Dare program, guys. I want to get these fools so high they don't ever want to do it again. It wasn't the level of high. It was the time that ruined it for me. I've always, when I consumed edibles, would take them 9:30. You know, on a Friday night, if I was going to watch said faction, I might take it 30 minutes before the show started, or sometimes even right when it started. My point is, though, I was always in the bed, in my final destination, have me some snacks, have me a little drink, and I'd have a good time for a little while, pass out. What I didn't take into consideration was we got high at 2 p.m. I've never gotten high at 2 p.m. So by 10 p.m., I was fucking done with it, man. I just wanted to turn it off. I was so tired. I was mentally exhausted from trying to figure out my thoughts and decipher Snuzz's conversations. I was beat. I've never put. Oh, wait a minute. Shane tried the Dare program but got kicked out. See, kids, this is your butthole. Now take your drugs. This is your butthole hurting. Yeah, I just learned recently that people are putting meth up their butt. Apparently, it works faster or lasts longer. So I don't know, man. I'm out on that though. I want no part of that. But anyway, hey, I found a new YouTube channel that I wanted to share with you guys, and hope maybe y'all would subscribe to, because well, I explain as I'm pulling it up. I'm going to play y'all. It's just a short, so it won't last long. I'm going to play y'all this because apparently I've gotten really into electric unicycles, and so I wanted to share with you guys my favorite electric unicycle channel.
S22 Pro, and this is the King Song S19. I'm going to be doing a suspension test, see which suspension I like better. So,
I had no idea that electric
start with
unicycles had
S19.
suspension, but check this out. That's a sweet, sweet looking unicycle.
Pretty smooth.
Very bouncy.
I like it. Now
Let's see how the other one does.
let's test the S22 Pro. Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
That's way better.
That is awesome.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I definitely like the suspension on the S22 Pro. It's way more responsive.
I know I do. Off-road on these things. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a good time, guys?
Bell, you want to race
See,
my go-kart?
here's one with an electric.
Yeah,
what is that?
Faster?
Oh, never mind.
I'll time you. Bring it on. Nice. Let's
These girls have something in common. Can y'all figure out what it is yet? An electric go-kart. How fun does that look? And then when you got done playing with that, you could ride the go-kart after.
21.18 seconds. Let's see if I can beat it. Here you
Anyway.
Challenge accepted.
So I'm sure you guys can see the name of the channel. You're all awesome. Y-O, here, I'll type it in the comments so y'all know where to go find this girl. In case you're interested in electric unicycles, you can learn all you need to learn right there. Whatever, Kyle. Whatever. That unicycle gets you 15 to 20. Yeah. I'm just saying, in case you guys are into, electric unicycles or electric go-karts, I think she does some wakeboard content too. That's a good channel. She does a lot of good reviews. They don't eat any food of any kind. Can anybody out here guess what part of my algorithm, what part of my search history led me to that particular channel? Put it in the comments if you saw what I saw and you know why my algorithm led me to that particular channel. I'll give y'all a minute. Connor, I've been drilling over her one-wheeler for years. Well, I don't know about her one-wheeler. There's something else I was drilling over. Yeah, Brasher Bear, I'm trying to promote eco-friendly content. I'm trying to help save the planet. I'm doing my part. I can't type that. I don't want to be flagged. Dude, she's 20-something years old. You won't be flagged. A couple of double cheeseburgers. She's good to go. Hey, everybody has a type, man. I'm just saying. Nobody has figured out what I searched for that led me to that. Come on, guys. You can here. I'll type it. I can't believe. No, not Ultra Boys. That's what led me to that video. Yeah. I mean, you guys were paying attention, right? Luke, I don't take the shirt off for free, buddy. If at any point in time the super chats reach $5, then I'll remove the shirt. Spooky, scary skeleton. Shut up, Maddie. Yeah. Maddie, I knew it. Maddie nailed it. Oh, did Maddie already answer that? Did I miss it? Yep, there it is. Sorry, Maddie, I didn't see it. I definitely gave you credit for that. Which is odd because that's something I've only gotten into in my older age. I used to not be as attracted to that particular body style as I am now. Kyle, clearly you weren't watching the video. There's nothing wrong with that girl. I know you like them a little thicker. Too shorts were devoured. Yes, they were. Yeah, they sure were. Her friend though, uh, it was even more impressive. Honestly, it was her shorts were. Yeah. Anyway, change the subject. So I did get a new knife, guys. I haven't really talked much about. I kind of want to talk about that tonight. I know y'all like to talk about knife content sometimes. And that is how I started. So I want to get into uh, my first pair of three. I got this little bad boy. It's a little dirty right now. I'm sorry. I've been carrying it nearly every day. Got this little bad boy from Mr. Simplify EDC guy. Never been into scooter cleavage. Well, hey, Steve, teach their own, buddy. But anyway, I got this thing from Simplify EDC guy. It's I don't remember who it is that does the orange scales. My bad. I should know that. And it's CTS XHP blade. But dang it. I ain't double D10. I ain't gonna sweat you over a penny, dude. So they both look like they were hit with a double-bladed axe. Chris, I used to say it looks like a pile of dog shit. Somebody with a bicycle track to the middle of it. So anyway, but what was I getting at? Oh, the pair of three and why I have fallen in love with it. I've always been a big knife guy. You know, I do still carry my Manix XL, compliments of Mr. Chuckett, and internal pieces and parts and whatnot, compliments of Ian Coates and Kyle Coonley, and I don't remember if Patina Turner had anything to do with the purchase of those parts or not. But anyway, it was kind of a group effort. I really love that knife. And I also love my PM2. I always said, why would you want a pair of three if you have a PM2? Just because I like a bigger knife. Well, I don't have an answer to that, but after owning this and carrying this and manipulating this and spotty flicking it, it's not with my other Spyderco knives. I have to kind of think about what I'm doing. I have to concentrate on where I'm putting my fingers. I have to concentrate on the angle that I'm flicking at, because that is a huge part of spotty flicking, is that you have to be flicking using this finger right here to flick the blade straight up, not out, just straight up. But anyway, my point is, I always have to kind of think about that. I pause for a second to think about, are my hands in the right spot? Am I at the right angle? But with a pair of three, man, it's thoughtless, it's effortless. It just happens so easily. And yes, I am a half-inch blade short from what I am with the PM2, but in all honesty, man, I haven't had to stab anybody. I haven't been in a parking lot fight, so I don't know what I need that extra half-inch for. Twain, you certainly should, buddy. Matter of fact, I will hit you up after this live stream. You guys, I don't do a whole lot of giveaways or anything, and I'm not calling anybody out or pointing. But if I owe anybody anything, it's Mr. Twain thing. Expect a message from me after this. Anyway, yes, I do love the pair of three. I don't have another pair of three to send you, but I'm fixing to hook you up. It is slightly smaller in the pocket. I mean, all of you probably already know. You've seen the specs by now. It's a half-inch shorter in the pocket. Width, thickness, all that's the same. It's just mainly the it's just the ergonomics and the ease of manipulation is why I love this pair of three. And I always wonder why Justin at OCD for EDC, the guy either owns or has owned nearly all the Spydercos. So yeah, Ian, somebody got me early. And but his daily carry, he chooses. Sorry guys, knocked my microphone over. for his daily carry, he chooses the Para 3. And I never quite understood that until having one. You know, Spyderco makes some great knives. There's my shaman. I did finally get my CME put on there, which greatly improves the you know, action, not necessarily the action, just how easy it is to engage that lock. Yeah, I still have. I don't know if I can spotty flick this one or not. This is a back lock stretch. I know there's guys that can do it. I can't. I don't know why. I've never been able to spotty flick any of the back lock Spydercos. This was actually a gift for Mr. Ian, and probably one of the uglier knives that Spyderco makes, but I absolutely love this thing, and I don't know why. I think it's just because they made a normal knife and added the hump instead of it being part of the spine. But anyway, yeah, the Para 3 has just dominated my pocket, man. It just I don't know why. Every day I go to walk out the house, when I reach down to grab a knife, it's the Para 3 almost every time. You know, I do still have my Grail Mannix. Started to make a video on this. I have done a slight upgrade to it. I ordered from Flytanium. I ordered their titanium blue hardware to match my ball cage there. So that looks nice. I don't know if it's worth $45 to turn your screws blue. I don't know, man. I'm not saying that I feel like I wasted my money. Didn't improve the knife in any way. It just, just made the screws blue. It's $45 literally for six. Well, I'm sorry, it's actually 9 screws because it did have the pocket clip screws too. I will admit the weight of this knife does sometimes hinder me from carrying it, but now that fall is upon us, and I'm not wearing shorts ever right now, so it'll start seeing some more pocket time because I didn't carry it quite as much in the summer as I thought I would, just because of the well, it's a little bit to do with the weight, and Alabama summers are very hot and muggy and sweaty, and I didn't want that 15V rusting on me, so I've actually contacted Justin. I'm about to have that blade Cerakoted so that I don't have to worry about that anymore. So yeah, I've seen that's twice now. I've seen it's Ed Harrison's birthday. I was unaware of that. Happy birthday, Mr. Ed Harrison. I hope you're having a good one, buddy. Yeah, right. It's not for you, huh, Stevie? I just like, because I don't have a very good feeling in my fingers, and if I don't have a CME, I find myself kind of fumbling trying to find that lock because I can't feel it so well. So it definitely helps me. I still need to get one for my Para 3. I haven't ordered one yet because I don't think I want to keep these orange scales. As much as I like the orange scales, just because there's not a whole lot of them out there. I handled another Para 3 that Simplify EDC guy had. Actually, it was when I went to pick this one up. I thought it was the knife he was giving me, but he had 2. One is for a stop censoring Steve's comments. But anyway, I just it had some advanced weapon tech scales on it. I was absolutely in love with that thing. So I do think I'm going to get me some advanced weapon tech. It's almost like I don't want to say it's a putter pattern, but it resembles a putter pattern. It's a crosshatch aluminum scale, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm looking forward to getting those. Haven't really been purchasing any knives, guys, because I don't need any. I know that's a touchy subject in the knife community, but I got to a point where I had everything I wanted, way more than I need, and I just started feeling. I started getting a little embarrassed that I was spending uh, money, which is something I don't have a whole lot of. That I was spending, such a significant portion of my budget or whatever you want to call it on knives I didn't need because some YouTube guy convinced me that I did. Um, I'm not bad mouthing knife reviewers or any of my YouTube buddies. I'm just saying that there's some guys that are in this to make money, and the only way they're going to make money is if they talk you into buying every knife that they can make $1 off of, whether that's, going to financially promote the death, destruction, or change of livelihood of our children, grandchildren, future generations. But I'm not going to get into all that. Yeah, I quit. I quit that. If something comes out, which I do really want the new Spyderco Military 2. No, it wasn't Cole, Ian. It's not anybody in particular. I just started. I don't want to say I felt dirty about all of it. It just all started feeling a little embarrassing to me. So I kind of stepped back from that part of the game. Got more knives than I'll ever use. I do want to, like I said, I do want a military 2, and I do have to purchase another knife from Mister Kalari there, Mister Super Steel Steve. I purchased a knife from him at Blade Show, and very good friend. Well, you guys know him. He's been in the chat. It was Meathead's birthday, and Meathead loves to cook, loves to grill, that type of thing. And I've always noticed all he's ever had was cheap cutlery. So I gifted him my Steve Clarey custom paring knife, and he absolutely loves it. And I feel better now because I know it's going to get the use that Steve intended it to be for. In all honesty, it's sat on my nightstand for 3 months in its zipper pouch. I was never going to use it. I bought it because I wanted to support Steve, and because I handled a lot of kitchen knives there. I handled $1,000 kitchen knives that weren't $1 better than what Steve was selling. So this is not a commercial for you to go out and buy his knives either. But if you need and are interested in a good kitchen knife, hard to beat. So yeah, I got to buy another one of those soon, and I do want a military 2. Do you guys have any? Oh, is Vince here? Yeah, there he is. What's up, Vince? I don't know how long you've been here, buddy, but I was telling people how much I've fallen in love with this pair of 3, and you're gonna. And once again, thank you for gifting it to me. It has been an absolute awesome experience. So keep censoring Scuba Steve. FFKW sends their regards. Anyway, but you're also going to cost me some money because I've got to get a set of those scales. Hit me up, Vince, because I'd really like to know exactly what those scales were if you know. So I don't want to order the wrong ones. I want to make sure I get the exact same thing that were on the pair of 3 you had. But yeah, guys, I guess I owe you an apology. I got feeling a little guilty, especially like Twang Thang. I know Twang Thang has spent, in my opinion, what is a good amount of money on buying and gifting memberships. And man, what does FFKW mean? Anyway, yeah, he'd spent a lot of money on gifting memberships to my channel, and I started feeling really guilty that that memberships were even being sold, and I wasn't delivering on content as often as I feel like I should for anybody to be. Oh, Fair Forge. Yeah. My bad. I should have known that. But anyway, I felt bad that money was being spent on memberships, and I wasn't really delivering on that. I want to apologize for that, and it's not going to hurt my feelings at all if nobody buys any more memberships. I can't promise how often I'm going to be on here. I don't know if I'm going to do any more short form content, maybe shorts, but not like 15-minute knife reviews. I just don't have the passion for it anymore. I do still love doing this. I love it more when John's here, to be honest. He kind of keeps me rolling, and gets me to tell things I probably shouldn't tell. Most of our lives are just recaps of conversations we've had during the week. But in all honesty, I'm apologizing for it, but I don't feel bad for it because, as embarrassing as this is to admit, I got way too deep into this whole knife community thing, and I got way too dependent on you guys for my mental health, for my happiness. And there's nothing wrong with that, and I'll always appreciate what you guys uh, did for me, but it's not healthy to be that dependent upon it. I got so dependent upon it that um, it's all I had, and it's not enough. And when you start depending on people like that, you start expecting things out of them that it's not right of you to expect. It's not fair of you to put that kind of pressure on people, especially people you met on the internet, man. You're putting that much pressure on them to provide you with your happiness. And anyway, very fitting those two girls get back in the kitchen. Uh, so I think Superstar Stevens said Stevie's their little tussle over Fair and Forge Knife Works is never going to end. But I will say this: Fair and Forge designs some damn nice knives. I haven't done the testing, to back up any other argument. I do like their design language. However, as excited I was to buy that ProTech Fair and Forge Mordax, every time I see that thing on on YouTube or whatever, I was just in love with it. And then I got it, and within the first day, Dopey, he did, man. You ain't kidding. He looks older than I do right now, though. Go check out a current picture of Fred Durst. But anyway, I got it. And man, within the first day, I was bored of it. It just bored the shit out of me. Luckily I didn't have to lose any money on it, so I moved it on for what I paid for it. I was happy about that. So yeah, I know Stevie's a big fan, though. Always has been. I know Steve is not. As if those two needed another reason or something else to not agree on. But anyway. So have you guys gotten anything new? Is there anything exciting that I may have? Stevie, you're right. Cowboy Fred Durst is the best Fred Durst. And once again, he's pulling it off, dude. He's giving people every reason in the world to hate him, and he's still relevant. His albums still sell, still sells out concerts. Anyway, Jim Butler, I still recommend the Mordax if you like the way it looks. And to be honest with you, I don't think it has anything to do with the design, with it being a Fair and Forge design. I know it doesn't have anything to do with it being a ProTech because I love what they do. But something that I've figured out is that I'm just not a big button lock fan. I'm just not. And as bad as I hate to say it, I don't think anybody has ever made a button lock any better than David did. That Orion, whatever, I don't even remember what they're called now, but he did a great job with his, and everything that I've compared to it has nothing has been better. Maybe as good or fell a little short of what that Chinese company did, but I give props where they're deserved. It's a great button lock knife, and there's nothing wrong with the Mordax. I don't think it's quite as good. The button action is not quite as good as the Orion is. However, I've owned two, and they were different. So I think there might be a little bit of inconsistency now. But yeah, I just don't think I'm excited about button locks. So maybe that's why I got so bored with it so fast. Yeah, that Orion Solaris, man, I'm not a fan of the scales. I'm not a fan of the ergonomics. I'm not even a fan of the blade shape. But their execution on that button lock was flawless. And I've handled 2 or 3 of them. They've all been the same. The first Mordax I actually enjoyed a little more. It had a little bit of just a very light tactile click that let me know when it disengaged, and I liked that. And the second Mordax I bought from Stevie didn't have that. So it was like, and once again, guys, a lot of this is my fault. I can't feel anything in the tips of my thumb. So when I mash that button, I don't know how hard or how deep I've actually mashed it or pressed it. And with that click, it let me know. When I felt that click, I knew mentally, to have my fingers out of the way, the blade was going to drop shut. But the one I got from Steve, I never knew. Like I would be holding it, and I would have to like tilt it to see if the blade was going to fall. So yeah, not bad mouthing the Mordax or the job Protect did on it. It's just not for me. Yeah. Hey, Dopey, I agree 100%, buddy. I was in a horrible spot when I found this community, and I'll never take anything or let anybody take anything from that or away from that. It was just I got too dependent. I got dependent to a point to where I wasn't really living outside of it, and that's not healthy. So, of course, my life decisions when I'm not online are not the best either. But I'm having a good time, man. I've had the best this past month, 6 weeks, whatever it has been one of the best of my entire life. So everything's going great. OG titanium Mordax is the best. I got you. Yeah. Mini Malice button lock. Yeah, I hadn't tried that. Mini Malice. But like I said, even if it's the best button lock knife ever made, I don't know that it would be for me. There's just something about that Orion, like it didn't have a click either, but I knew when I disengaged it. There was some kind of feedback. It's like the difference between, driving an old gas powered muscle car and driving a Tesla. Yeah, the Tesla's faster, but you don't have that immediate feedback in the pedal and the steering wheel because it's all drive by wire. Um, I can't explain why, but the Orion, I had some type of feedback that let me know, and that's not the case with all of them. Really, it made no sense for me to be reviewing knives at all, guys, because my opinions and the things that matter to me don't apply to 95% of y'all. Things that turn me off on a knife would mean nothing to most of y'all. So, really didn't make any sense for me to be reviewing knives. And I don't know how many of you guys have heard this. I'm not trying to make an official statement, but I guess Knives Live is not happening. It's at least not happening first weekend in November like it normally does. Um, Not going to get into that. I had reasons, all personal, of why I didn't need to do it this year. I thought it was still going to happen. Um, I'm not in those people's shoes, so I can't say, uh, why they're not going to do it. But anyway, in case you were wondering, it's not looking like it's going to happen, or if it does, it's going to be later down the road. I wasn't ignoring you, Dopey. Damn Shane just going to finally broke down and started down the Spyderco rabbit hole. Thought the world would at least show me up or throw me a parade. It was just for you, Dopey. There they are, buddy. That's just because you finally got on the Spyderco bandwagon. Anyway, I still love mine, guys. If I had to pick one knife brand to own right now, it's still going to be Spyderco, because that asshole in the chat got me super interested in performance steels, performance heat treats, performance cutting geometry, all that type stuff. And that's where I found my passion in knives. So, I don't think there's any company out there that achieves all three of those in the balance that Spyderco does. So, yeah, I'm probably always going to be a Spyderco fanboy. Twang Thing, I don't know that you'll want the rest of them, but I think there's probably 4 or 5 I've got 5 laying right here that I think are the 5. Well, Actually, I'm not going to include the stretch too. I don't think this knife's for everybody. I love this knife. Um, like I said, this was a gift from ENG EDC. Super thin. It's a great pocket knife, but I don't think it's for everybody. But the 5 that I think everybody should own at some point in time, I think everybody should experience the Shaman. You can't go wrong with it because you can own it for a couple of months, get the feel for it, and sell it. The Mannix 2 doesn't have quite the resale. You're going to lose 20, 30 bucks when you sell it most of the time, unless you get lucky and catch a drop. That everybody's wanting, and once they're all gone, you can sell it for more money. But my brother, Mr. Steve Kalari, actually hooked me up with this knife at less than retail. So how often does that happen? The Shaman, the Mannix 2, Pair 3, of course. I think if you're just going to own one, right now it's a toss-up for me between the Pair 3 and the Mannix, but probably still the Mannix if you're just going to own one. The PM2, and this one's kind of optional depending on taste, since I already showed the Mannix 2. But the Mannix XL is a damn good big heavy duty work knife. So yeah, past those 5, anything else is going to be purely based on taste, and chain can be the Spidey butthole. Yeah, I need to talk somebody into that. If I could find if that chick on the unicycle would get a Spyderco tattoo about 2 inches below her belly button, I'd be in love. Yeah. Stevie, I love your rambling videos. I'll be honest with you, dude. Me and you've been friends for a couple of years now. I've not watched a whole lot of your knife review stuff. But I try not to ever miss your rambling videos. Your blog type content is way more interesting. Now, I like the pocket dump. I like the fact that it's EDC related, but yeah. And I think it's just because, man, every knife out there, there's 100 different videos you can watch about it, and 98 of them are some guy regurgitating the same shit he heard from the last review, because he doesn't really do anything with a knife or really experience it in the first place. It's just regurgitated information. So, is what it is. Demionock, I loved my smock too, and that was the weirdest relationship I've ever had with a knife. I loved that thing. I wasn't crazy about fidgeting with it, but I love the idea of it, but I never carried it. It was, I don't know if a part of me was always a little bit scared. It was going to come out of my pocket, and I wasn't going to be able to replace it. I don't know, man. It just, I was never comfortable with carrying it every day. So I never carried it. I finally got rid of it for that very reason, just so that somebody else could enjoy it. Yeah. 20 thing, I agree 100%, dude. I love his rambling videos. And maybe one of these days we're going to get to see the found footage of Stevie getting attacked and mauled by a bear. Can't wait. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's people out there who do great knife reviews. We've talked about this in the past. We talked about ruffling some feathers. I don't think anybody, and maybe it was because of the time, there wasn't as many people doing it. I don't think anybody did a better knife review than, oh shit, I forgot his name. Stevie knows what I'm talking about. The scam guy. Holy shit, what was his name? Help me out, Stevie. I cannot believe I forgot that dude's name. I know his real name's Brian. Slicey Dicey. Yeah, I didn't look it up. It finally came to me. No, I don't think anybody ever did a better knife review than Slicey Dicey. Now, his lives were fucking snorefest. But Stabby Stokes, She's a howl. Yeah, Stabby Stokes is super cool. I could probably definitely listen to Stabby Stokes talk about a knife, but yeah. I think that the market just got too flooded, man. There was just too many people doing it, and what really gets aggravating is when you take. I'm not even going to talk about myself, but you take somebody like Stasa. Stasa orders a knife, puts it through its paces, tries to actually experience it a little bit, and the cost of doing that means his video comes out days after other people's video. So people have already watched a dozen reviews on it before Stasa's video comes out. I can't imagine being Stasa and putting that much time and passion into it, and then seeing channels that, good and damn well that knife never left their desk or their coffee table. They're just regurgitating information they heard from the review they watched before they filmed theirs. That would be really aggravating for me if I was him. And the reason I use him is because I wouldn't use myself, because I know Stasa puts more into it than I ever did. So I technically could be one of those folks. If I did a review on a pocket knife, which never happened, and it got more views than Stasa's did, that would be a damn shame. So yeah, I'm just going to let the people who actually invest the time and have the passion for it, let them get those clicks. If there's one thing I learned at Blade Show this year, is this: if you're going to make money on YouTube talking about pocket knives, you're going to promote Chinese knives. There's no way around it. They're the only people that pay. I was actually standing at the Vosti counter with the lady telling me how to go online and apply, and that they would pay me 10-15%. I don't remember. It was higher. It was a higher percentage than I was used to hearing. I think it was 15%. I could be wrong though. Of any Vosti knife sold using my link. And as I stand there thinking about it, and the fact that I was going to get all these, free knives to review, just all of a sudden, man, it was like this weight come down. It was like, Shane, that is not who you are. We're not going down that road. And that's what started all this. Was that feeling I had standing there thinking about, trying to sling knives for Vosti to make some money. So, you guys are right. Satu is great. Satu gives a good, honest opinion. Being a machinist, there's aspects of knife review that I think he understands a little better than most of us do. There's things that I like to hear him talk about. So, yeah, there's plenty of great reviewers out there. I don't think I was one of them. So I just, I decided to quit doing it. And I even had a lifeline on that. I wasn't going to have to buy knives. Shout out to Blade Ops, man. Those guys were great to me. They'd send me all the knives I wanted to do reviews on. They paid for the shipping. They didn't pay me to review them, but they gave me an opportunity to run a channel for free, without ever having to buy anything. And I'll never forget that they did that for me. And I know not a lot of you guys use Blade Ops, but I wish you would, just because of how they, not only how they take care of their knife reviewers, but I actually had to contact Andy at one point in time because of a knife I got from him. And I was like, man, I wanted to talk to you first because I hate this thing. I don't like it at all. And he was like, then say that. He's like, we're not asking you. We would never ask you to be dishonest about a knife. He said, if you trash it and that causes us to never sell one, then they'll just in the warehouse. We don't care. We don't want people to buy a knife that they're not going to be happy with. That really left an impression on me about Blade Ops and who they are as people. And I know he was legit because when I called him, he was on his way to lunch with the owner. The owner was in the passenger seat. So they were both telling me this. Now I did the review. I didn't say I hated it. I just you know, I was just honest in what I thought about it. I talked about the things that I liked. I talked about the things that weren't for me. But anyway, yeah. Who you meeting up with, Kyle? Nobody won't meet you. Yeah. And Steve, that's great, but I mean that wouldn't really fit for me because I'm not a traditional pocket knife kind of guy. So I can't imagine what they'd have that I really want to talk about. Are you still working with Blade Ops any? I'm hoping I didn't sit here and say all this good stuff and then find out that you had a okay, good. I was hoping you hadn't had a negative experience, but yeah, I wouldn't even want to do business with like. I'm not telling you not to buy knives there, but after what I seen, what Knife Center did at Blade Show, that kind of turned me off from ever wanting to spend any of my money there. They were taking knives that were extremely popular that many of us drove, flew, took trains, whatever to get to Blade Show. And many of those people may have been there for the opportunity to buy a particular knife, and then Knife Center comes up and buys them all, puts them on their website a 75, 80, $100 markup. Hey man, if you want to order knives and have them on you and mark them up, that's fine. But the fact that you took everybody that was at Blade Show's opportunity to buy that knife away from them and tried to make a fairly significant amount of money off each of them, eh, kind of done. Was kind of done with Knife Center at that point. That David Sander gets on my damn nerves anyway. I don't know why everybody likes that dude. And that new Seth guy, I don't want to own anything. I mean, I know he's a Spyderco fanboy, but I'm definitely not buying something because he he made me want to do it. You know, I don't promote my Blade Ops affiliate out there. Yeah, like I said, man, I don't know what everybody's experience with them has been, but they were, they were good. They were good to me. You know, and in all honesty, the only reason I had that connection was I name dropped Stevie. Had I approached them without name dropping Stevie, I don't think it ever would have happened. But yeah, Stevie, what a poor finish to today's game. Boy, we had some crazy games in the NFL today, didn't we? I cannot believe Kansas City. Dude, I wouldn't thought Kansas City would lose to Denver, even if Mahomes didn't play, much less if he wouldn't. Oh man, that was insane. Knife Center, the new ACK. Yeah, yeah. W, and I appreciated that too, dude. I think you were probably the first person to ever purchase anything using my affiliate link, and I do appreciate that, man. I won't ever forget that. There was a few of you that used it, but you were the first one that I knew of, so I appreciate it. I got a local buddy that bought one because of my video, and I've got to go pick his up tomorrow. He works in an industrial plant, and he dropped it with it open, and the edge hit a hardened. It was actually a die plate, like a die that goes in a big press, and it chipped the edge. So I got to see if I can sharpen that out of it for him. That would never happen, dude. They love me. Did I finish that story, by the way? The whole fight at the strip club thing. Um, I don't remember if I knew on that night or not. I can't remember if we talked about that. That the guys we got in a fight with ended up leaving. Both of them left in ambulances. I'll just go ahead and cover it right quick. I'm not going to go over the whole story again, but they both left in ambulances. The next day they came back to get their car and it wasn't there. So they called the owner wanting to know where he had their car towed to. And was like, we didn't have their car towed. So we go back and look at the video footage. And while all this is going on, while those dudes were getting the shit kicked out of them, two totally random guys that had nothing to do with it were sitting in their car in the parking lot. And one of them got out of the passenger seat and got into the guy's car that pulled the gun on us and drove off. And he stole his car in the middle of the fight. The guy's car got stolen. Well, they used said car to drive 15 minutes across town to another club. And that's not a strip club. It's just like an all-night dance club. Very ghetto, very dangerous place to hang out. And they did a drive-by in the guy's car. So it all got really confusing when the cops got involved because at first they weren't sure if those two dudes were the ones that did the drive-by. And we were like, well, no, they got an alibi. They got their ass whipped and went to the hospital. And then they were confused about whether or not the guys that did the drive-by used their gun, their personal gun, or the gun that was pulled on it. Anyway, it all got really confusing, but just a crazy event. Stanky Leg's doing fine, Stevie. They both got out of the well, actually, they both were admitted and stayed overnight, and they got out of the hospital. And like I said, it was Stanky Leg's mama that called the club threatening to sue because I don't know if I talked about this either, but come to find out they were both 19. They had fake IDs. So she was upset, threatening to sue that we even let them in until she found out that they had, because that's a lot of things people don't know. When they hold that driver's license under that lamp to illuminate it where they can read it, there's a camera in there. It's actually taking a video of their ID. So we had proof that they used really good fake IDs. But we also, during digging through it, the video, we saw them doing something at the end of the bar. We couldn't quite figure out what it was. So we went back, checked a different camera from a different angle and zoomed in. And they were snorting coke off the end of the bar. So once she saw all that, she dropped the whole lawsuit thing. She was more pissed off at her kid at that point. Wasn't really worried about it. So I haven't heard anything else. Of course, I could be at Walmart tomorrow and somebody's liable to roll up and shoot me. I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah, Doug, you ain't kidding. They ran their mouth to the point that actually there was two fights in one night. They lost the first fight. They could have walked away from it. It was actually the two other customers that they ran their mouth to. It was those two customers that put them in the hospital. Those dudes whooped the shit out of them. I mean, literally, dude, they weren't even recognizable. Their faces weren't. So yeah, I got in two fights, lost both of them. Copped a charge for pulling a pistol. Both of them caught possession charges and had their car stolen. All in one night. Yeah, Dopey, you don't want to hang around, but it's weird, dude. When you're in that business, after a while, they can walk in the door, like at the beginning of the night, you walk in and ask me who's going to be trouble tonight, and I can every time go, that guy or those guys. You just know. You can see it on their face when they're going to be trouble. And we called it, and we were right. They're still trying to talk me into come back to work. The owners, the guy that owns the place doesn't have a whole lot of, he don't have much time left. So somebody else is taking it over, and the first thing he wants to do is revamp security. But I'm not doing it. The whole thing's a scam, man. Those guys that work, they've got way too much power, first of all, but they're taking money from the drawer that's supposed to go in the owner's pocket, but they're also in charge of fining the dancers. So like if a dancer's supposed to be, if she misses her shift, it's like $120 fine or whatever. They can't argue it. So these guys can just make up fines whenever they want to. They can claim that they saw you let a guy touch you and charge you $1,000 for prostitution. But the point is those guys are using those fines to manipulate those girls. Or if they do pay the fine, it's all going in their pocket. It's horrible. some of the girl can't make a living because Jay, yeah, the no shirt, it was never a part of the plan. That's normal. The flat bill New York Yankees hat is not normal. It I don't even remember how it started really. But somebody taught me into taking my shirt off, and then it turned into I take my shirt off if I exceeded $5 in super chats. So, yeah, every Sunday it's been shirtless since then. So yeah. Yeah, that's one thing about Dopey. You couldn't get in the club around here, dude. You go through a metal detector. That somebody should blow up if you walk through it. Yeah. Oh. But anyway, we're right at an hour, guys. I know we usually go a couple, but I'd already kind of promised somebody I would do something, so I'm not ready to stay on that long. And with John not being here, it's hard for me to keep track. I don't understand it. I don't really know what it is that John does, but somehow he just keeps me on pace and he keeps things rolling smoothly. I don't understand it, but yeah. Oh, yeah, Demon, I think you're right. Yeah, because it used to get really hot in here. Yeah, you're right. Because I used to accuse my daughter of turning the heat up or turning the heat on when I'd go live, so I didn't have to take my shirt off. Funny how even I don't remember. Uh, it is much less. Hey, let me tell you guys something about OnlyFans, dude. Um, you guys know I have no shame, dude. I don't hide nothing. I found this young lady that on Instagram that I was extremely attracted to, and I found out she had an OnlyFans. So I'd never been on there, so I wanted to give it a shot. Let me tell y'all what I learned. Um, that is not them on OnlyFans. The videos and pictures are, but when they're chatting with you, it is not them. I suspect it's probably an office full of sweaty little Indian dudes. Now, this is my issue. I don't care if they're making the content, making the videos, taking the pictures, and they're selling it or getting paid by these foreigners to make the content, and then they run the actual OnlyFans and collect the money. I don't I don't have an issue with that, but I wonder how much of it is stolen. You know, how much of it's actually legit. You know, what I'm getting at is when they're chatting with you on OnlyFans, it is not them. Um, there may be some that are for real. You know, maybe celebrities. I don't know, but yeah, just keep in mind that you're probably chatting with a dude, and that $12 a month subscription gets you absolutely nothing. You pay for every pic, every video. It's just it's a scam. It's a ripoff. So stay away from that. I say stay away from it. Even if you're okay with spending the money, I'd still recommend staying away from it because I worry that these girls are being taken advantage of, or they're maybe their content's being stolen, or who knows if they're being trafficked to produce this kind of content, make somebody money. So yeah, as much as you guys know uh, that I don't have any shame and I'm into stuff like that, I don't recommend going about it that way. But man, drive across town, drive to the next town. You know, you can spend less money and see them live than what you can spend on OnlyFans. So yeah. Anyway, that's my helpful hint of the night. Stay off OnlyFans. And I really appreciate any amount of time you guys spend with me. And once again, I apologize for not producing enough content for it to be worth having a membership. But for those of you who have maintained them, even if it's just because you forgot to cancel it, just go off your debit card, I do really appreciate it. So yeah, thanks for coming on and going solo, Sprinkles. I don't know if we've talked since that live stream, dude, but I had to take that one down and had to privatize a bunch of videos because I got myself. Well, anyway, that's all I got for you guys tonight. I appreciate y'all. Peace, love y'all.